Hey, what is up, guys? Hey, my name is Rick. I'm a financial coach. I'm the owner of the Debt Free Mafia, and I wanted to answer your question. Hey, you paid off all your debt. Now what do you do? So I wanted to answer this in a few different areas. Maybe you just paid off all of your consumer debt, like credit cards, car payments, student loans, all that stuff. Maybe you've paid that off, and now you want to know what to do next. Or maybe you've paid off everything, including the mortgage, right? What to do next. So I kind of wanted to talk about those two things. What are some smart things to do? What I recommend as a financial coach on what you do with those. So let's say that you pay off everything except for a mortgage, or maybe you don't have a mortgage, or maybe you do have a mortgage but you haven't paid it off. That's great. Congratulations. That's a big deal. You're a weirdo. You're officially a weirdo. If you're debt free, you're officially a weirdo. So that's great. First thing I would do, let's keep that same momentum up that you were using to pay off all that debt to get an emergency fund. At least 3 months, right? We preach 3 to 6 months on the emergency fund, 3 to 6 months of living expenses. So you take your budget and what all of your expenses are added up at the very bottom, multiply that by 3, 4, 5, or 6, which how many ever months you want. I will tell you, I would do 3, 4 if your job is not very volatile, meaning very risky to get laid off. But if your job is volatile and there is chances that you could get laid off because of your industry. So I work in Midland, Texas, where it's primarily oil field work, and it is boom or bust here, right? So I always tell my clients 6 months if you work in the oil field, because you could lose your job at any moment if something changes politically or geographically or whatever it is, economically. So I always tell them 6 months. Just because it gives you a much better cushion if you were to lose your job. You're not stressed when you lose your job because you got this pile of cash that can basically catch you until you can get by. So that's what I would do next. Obviously, focus all the way on that. And then after that, I want you to get really heavy into investing for yourself. I mean, the goal is to be putting away 15% of your take-home pay. So if you can manage to do that, be throwing as much as you can at some really good index funds or mutual funds, Roth IRA. Really, if you can max that out every year, that would be great. Those are some great options. I'm not an expert in that area, but there are some really good resources for that. I know I've had some clients just use investment experts, and then also you can use things like Vanguard, and then I think there's another pretty decent one out there, but I trust Vanguard, so that's a good option also. And then, if you're doing that, I want you to invest for yourself first. A lot of people want to jump the gun and start investing for their kiddos. I want to make sure that you're investing enough for yourself first and then the kiddo, because here's the thing. One day you're going to be an old person, and one day they're going to be in the position where they're worried whether or not they're going to have to take care of you, right? So you don't want to be a burden to your kiddos. You want to be a blessing to your kiddos. So make sure that you have a big enough retirement where you can not only live well, but be able to spoil them, spoil grandkids, spoil people around you, and be able to take care of yourself. And that way they don't have to worry about, paying for your stuff or taking care of you or whatever it is. So take care of yourself first, then let's start the college savings fund, right? So make sure we're contributing well to our 401k. Then we want to start working on kiddos, right? So then you can start saving for their either college or trade school or whatever. We're going to do basically a cash fund where whenever they are college age, they can choose to go the college route if they want to. They can try doing an entrepreneurial spill. They can blow it all as long as they're trying really hard on an entrepreneurial endeavor, if that's who they are, if they are an entrepreneur. Or they can spend it on like a trade school or an investment. They cannot go out and buy a new Mustang. That is against the rules that we're setting, right? It has to be productive for their future. So that's kind of the way we're looking at it. So let's kind of talk about the next best thing, right? So, and then I also wanted to mention, if you're able to do all of those things, let's say you are investing well for yourself, you're investing for the kiddos, and you still have some extra cash. Well, big bummer, right? Big bummer, you got all this extra cash, right? So what I'd like for you to do is start chipping away real hard at that house payment. So if you have a house, that's awesome. Let's start paying it down, right? Nothing feels as good as a paid off house. I don't know that yet. That's a goal of mine. But I can only imagine whenever you step on that property and that property is your property and not the bank's property. Because technically this house I'm in is the bank's. I'm just basically buying it from them very, very, very slowly, right? So they could come and take this house if they wanted to. So it's technically theirs, right? So that kind of keeps me up at night because I want it to be mine, right? So I want to be able to pay it off soon. That's a big goal of mine. And then after that, Then after that is when it gets to the really fun part where we just start splurging on everybody else, right? So this is the ultimate goal. This is the ultimate goal of mine, right? I want to be able to be into a position where somebody's like, you know what, we're really struggling with this, and this, and being able to bless them with it. Not because it's a publicity stunt or anything like that. We'd really probably prefer to be at low key and not tell anybody, because we've had people step in big time in our life. Whenever we hit a hard patch, people stepped in and gave us money. It was so helpful. We even had a few people just randomly give us some cash while we were paying off debt, because we were very public about our debt-free journey. And I urge you to be. I know it's kind of a pride point, but if you are in your debt-free journey right now and you're watching this, be open about it. Talk about it. You create opportunity when you open your mouth like that, right? So I would urge you to do that, right? Because I don't know who to help if I don't know who needs help, right? So please do that. So let's say that you do have the house paid off now. Now what? You're debt free. You got the house paid off. Now you just got an income coming in, and basically all you're having to worry about is paying your taxes and your utility bills, right? Man, big bummer, right? This is at the point where you can really start to fulfill some of those long-term goals that you've set, some of those dream goals that you have. Maybe your dream goal is like, hey, I'm going to go and stay all over Europe for 3 months and try all their local food, go to every castle I possibly can, go check out every sweet beach that they've got, go and watch a race in Monaco. I mean, it could be any of these things, right? So maybe that's your big goal and you're finally able to do it. The cool thing is you get to enjoy it way more because you're paying it for all cash and not all on credit and having to work it off for the next, I don't know, whatever that'd be, like next year or whatever, of just credit card payments. So that's really a big goal. And then maybe your goal is being able to just buy things for people, like we talked about, being a big blessing to people. I think there's just so much need, obviously, and there's going to be a big time need. I already know there's going to be a big time need because millennials have half the wealth that boomers and Gen Z had at our same age, right? So we're lagging way behind. There's going to be some broke, poor millennials that are going to need help. I just know that's part of the reason why I do what I do. So, guys, I hope that's a little bit of a kind of a direction on what you should be doing after you've paid off all of your debt. Kind of prioritize it in that order, And man, guys, just keep it up. That's so awesome. If you're debt free, man, let me know in the comments if you're debt free. If you are on the way to being debt free, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear about it, guys. I appreciate you stopping by again. If you have not join the Mafia, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out, helps support the community. Also hitting the like button also helps promote this video so that other people can go and find it. Really am trying to grow a community here that is just supporting the debt-free lifestyle, the peaceful living lifestyle, the lifestyle that leaves a legacy to their children and their children's children, right? So guys, I appreciate you so much for hanging out. We'll talk to you later.